This report from ITN's Terry Lloyd.
Singapore will play host to the first major defense equipment exhibition to be held in the world after the Gulf War.
Following on from the Gulf conflict, the best possible showcase for arms dealers, Singapore has become the marketplace for anyone wanting to trade in conventional armaments right through to high-tech smart weapons. Defence Asia is the respectable face of arms selling. Everything needs government approval. Fresh from the Gulf came the British, the Americans and the French, all wanting to boast that their products were now combat-proven. This will be one of the indelible memories of the war, the pinpoint accuracy of the laser-guided bombing systems. Tiled, the thermal imaging airborne laser designator, was the British version, made by GEC Ferranti. It was one of the star attractions of the Singapore show, with the guarantee tried and tested. Ferranti sent their top salesman, Bob Kemp, to head the team pick to find new buyers. The potential buyers he was hoping for all arrived, already impressed by the high-tech successes in the Gulf.
I think from the interest that stems in this region from the Gulf, it's quite obvious that the customers in this region are particularly interested in that type of technology. The smart weapon is definitely, it's come of age.
It was, however, the smart selling techniques used by the French which stole the show. They were the biggest exhibitors with 28 stands and more outside.
It's a magazine with 50 rounds. 50 rounds? Yes, 50
this
rounds.
Indonesian headed for the French stall, shopping for small arms. And this purchaser from the Philippines also knew exactly what he wanted, a new patrol boat.
Well, we are 7,000 islands. We're infested with some pirates. They just hijacked one of our kerosene or crude oil boats, and so we're looking for something to help us in that regard.
The French just happened to have one berthed nearby. It was the Iris Air Defence coastal patrol vessel armed with anti-aircraft and anti-sea skimming missiles. But there was more to it than that. The Iris is partway through a promotional tour of the South China Seas to show off her unique features. According to her designers, the great difference between this warship and her predecessors is that this one is more like an aircraft. The boat is totally computerized, requiring a crew of just 10 rather than 40. It can detect, identify, track and fire in just 2 seconds. And as an optional extra, the French will fit Exocet missiles to her. They say she's ideal to protect oil installations in the Middle East, but that causes concern over just who France is prepared to sell to. The Middle East spent $154,420 million on arms between 1979 and 89. Iraq was the biggest buyer, spending $47,270 million on weapons. The Soviet Union was the biggest supplier. It sold $22,600 million worth of weapons to Saddam Hussein, including the Scuds that hit Israel and Saudi Arabia. France was the next biggest seller. They sold him $6,900 million worth of arms, including Exocets. The French are embarrassed by their sales track record and say they're reviewing future policy, but some believe nothing will change. America has already changed its views, and the call for an arms freeze by President Bush was reflected by the subdued performance of the exhibition by US dealers. Despite success in the Gulf, there were no traces of the cruise missiles or the Patriot interceptors, even though those sort of weapons are already on other countries' wanted lists. Saudi Arabia is the biggest shopper. It wants Patriot from America, as well as F-15 fighter aircraft, missiles and tanks. From Britain, it's looking for fighter aircraft like the Tornado. Syria is said to have put in a $2,000 million order to the Soviet Union for Scuds, medium-range tactical ballistic missiles, fighter aircraft, and it's looking to China for more. Despite calls for tighter arms control, the experts agree that although a customer like Saddam Hussein might find it difficult to arm himself officially, there will always be dealers ready to trade on the black market with anyone for hard cash.